Hello everyone, I am TheNthApple, and today we are taking a look at Vault 3, one of the oldest vaults that is still inhabited to this day in Fallout New Vegas. However, today it's inhabited by the Fiends, a group within the Waste that are addicted to drugs, chems, and every other type of chemical that you can pump into your body under the sun. The vault itself is located right here, Vault 3 as you can see. And it is near the South Vegas entrance and the following areas that are pointed out on the map. But enough of that, I think it's time we actually go into this vault and see what these degenerates got up to. Now, the vault has working power, and in many cases, still working mainframes, working control panels, and even working supercomputers, which is something that we haven't really seen in many of the other vaults that have been taken over by groups of people. Now, you can either go left, or you can go right when you enter the vault properly. Now, on the left here, you're going to see is a diner or a mess hall. There's going to be a lot of meds in here, so I suggest you stock up before you venture any deeper into this vault. Also, there's lots of catchy slogans like I give a shit and other types of graffiti drawn all over the vault, which we can assume the Fiends put there, as the people who did inhabit this vault seem to be very nice people. Now, in the main portion of the wreck, you can go right, you can go left, or you can go straight ahead. We'll be going left this time. So, as you can see here, there's mostly just a couple of bathrooms with more graffiti, and oddly enough, a clinic with a computer that, while it is powered, you cannot actually access it for some reason. I don't know if I'm just doing it wrong or if it's a bug. I'll leave that for you to figure out. As you progress a bit further in, you will come to this door. Will lead you to the living quarters, but we're not going to look at that just for now. Going straight in, you can see pool tables, you can see Sunset Sarsaparilla, you can see Nuka-Cola, power is still on, and oddly enough the pool tables aren't covered with as much shit and feces and piss you would have expected the Fiends to put on them. Also, oddly enough, this projector still works and is not projecting anything, which is weird considering many other vaults have projectors which do so. In the vault on the right, the door, you will find things used for recreation, such as chess, snooker cues, balls, and even some Nuka-Cola victories, suggesting that this vault was well maintained and kept up until very recently. Now, after you actually leave this, the only place left to go is here, left, or right from the first position. This will then lead you down to the maintenance wing of the vault. Now, in here you're going to see all these supercomputers, there's going to be more members of the Fiends, and there's also going to be this locked room to the left. Now, what's important about this locked room is while there is lockers filled with all sorts of crap and things that you may not really want, there is actually this locker here that is filled with a Vault 3 utility jumpsuit, which will give you +5 lockpick and repair, which could very come in handy. This terminal here has some of the only entries for the vault. A water leak. The water's been broken, there's been some leaks, they're trying to fix it, they don't really know if they have the parts to fix it, and they're working to resolve it as quickly as possible. Then you see Vincent Valner, Axe Scout, Jennifer Lawson. A very loving, heartfelt tale, one unlike you see in most parts of the vault, or in any vault for that matter. He says it was a success, and then in the last message that you will see, he says, "Thank you for telling him to do it. He's glad he asked her out. He needed some time off and some rest." So you see a nice story that you're not used to in most vaults, to be honest. Now, going further into this vault, you'll find another room of computers and this guy. His name is Motor Runner. He's one of the leaders of the Fiends. He has a chainsaw. He's a bit of a jackass. Kill him and he'll also tell you how they killed the inhabitants of this vault and took it over. So this vault was being inhabited up until very recently. People were alive. You can also sit in the throne. After you progress down, you can go into the living quarters, whereupon you'll find this room that looks like it could have been used for education, but unfortunately the data on it is corrupted and the terminal is broken, so we will never actually find out. But we can assume that this room was probably a child's bedroom or such based on the paraphernalia lying around. After we go further in, we have a passageway to the left that will lead down to the cages, which we will look at later. We will have a passageway once again to the left that will lead out to the, let's say, gurneries or viewing platforms, and also here, the Overseer's room, which as you can see has a power grid that is actually working. This vault, it was in full working order until the Fiends showed up, and any of these orange areas we can assume would have been green, considering the rest of this vault is very well upkept. So if you get the password from one of the survivors in the cages downstairs off a ghoul, you can activate the Overseer's terminal, or you can hack it. Really, the choice is up to you. But you'll see here, happy birthday, a message to the Overseer's niece saying, what do you want? I'll get the ball rolling, you can have anything you want for your birthday. Things that are not very common within a vault. Most vaults are focusing on the bad and negative. Then it's saying how someone ran against their best friend. It's not personal, he just thinks that they should make bonds with people outside the vaults. Then you'll see thank you. He got elected, and he really wants to make bonds in the neighbours of the people of the world outside. So right now you can sort of see what would have happened with the fiends, or how that would have actually occurred, how they would have got into the vault. Then you can see in our little message saying that there's some weapons underground. They're underwater, and there's not really that many, so in my opinion it's not worth going for, and they will not be shown in this video as a result, and you can unlock them from here. So based on what Motorrunner said, they wanted to form a bond with the people of the Waste, and then the fiends came in and killed them and took over the vault, like the chodes that they are. No surprise there. After you go into here, you can actually find the cage to the left here, which will hold the survivors, which you can release for a quest, and also get the code off one of them, which will make getting into the Overseer's terminal a lot easier. You then come to this, one of the darkest parts of Fallout New Vegas I've ever seen, frankly. OD'd people. Now I know this isn't new, but just because they're fiends, because they had all of this, a comfy vault, protection, a life, and yet they still threw it away for drugs, it just shows how desperate some people were to escape from the reality that was the Waste. They couldn't deal with it, they couldn't hack the pace, to be honest. Which, the point's driven home more because they're fiends, because they went through so much, they still were not able to hack it. Now you can find some terminals within here that detail a couple of things. This is an odd one. It says compose automated blast message. I wasn't able to get this working. I don't know what it does. Perhaps some of you can expand upon that within the comments. Here you will see several terminals. So the first one is just Hello Nara, and the second one is a little bit more interesting. And you can also find a lot of drugs there, by the way. So it says keep out, there's graffiti, and it's here, this terminal here, which actually gives some details. So the water situation. So first of all, they're saying they don't have the parts to repair the water. Now why does that sound familiar? Because it happened before in Fallout, the original one. Vault-Tec did not make any of the water filtration systems to spec. I don't think they were designed to fail. I think Vault-Tec were just shit at their job, which wouldn't really surprise me. Then they're saying how they want to make better external relations with people outside. And then people are saying your endorsement, you're so respected by the residents, they want to get external association committee to go outside and talk to people. And that was how it happened, that's how the fiends got in. These people, okay, they opened themselves up to the Waste, and the Waste ate them alive. The fiends came in, killed them all, took everything. And that's what's sad about this vault, because these were good, well-working people. This vault did not have any other agenda, and they were murdered by a bunch of junkies, essentially. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know I did. If you have any suggestions for any future episodes, please leave them in the comment sections below. If you have any feedback on this one, please give it as well. I would like to also give a shout out to Travis Clark and Anthony Haggerty. All your support in these series and everything I do is well appreciated, my friends. And as always, I hope I will see you in the next episode, and goodbye. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. If you haven't done so already, why don't you subscribe so you can get regular updates to all my content. If you want to, follow me on Twitter, where you can talk to me, ask me any questions you want, and also get any updates that I have on my channel. As you can see, I have linked a video above that I think you will also like that I have made. Please go watch it if you're so inclined to do so. And as always, I hope you will stick around for the next video, and goodbye.